Reporting line interference and communication line centers. Computer chips are coming into allocated timeline centers. Matrix and the lock system rotation is coming into a new keyframe interline center rotation. It's a communication cycle that's centering to positions to the earth locks. Now, the earth lock is in position line connections. I have the sentience and high rise center to its locations. Ascended masters and line signals, and everything through the gods and the goddesses are in high level system to the earth rotation. So communications in the cycles is to understand how space is operated. It's amazing because it comes on so many forms of light, communications of light, activations of light, programs of light. But you understand how it's connected to all computer chip line interference. It's mostly understanding these things because you can compromise if you don't understand your positions to the allocated line switches. So I sent you guys a very powerful TikTok on everything that's going on with the coherence and necessitating and the audio interference to connections to the heart reactor line interference location. So it's channeling right now, higher level system rotations. Now, it's amazing how we come to higher levels of programs. Our interline system is set up to locations. Today is Sunday, so we're going to do an operation cycle through location of scanning. Scanning to the allocated line center. We're going to send into the center locations. I'm going to draw out a graph connections, and everybody's going to scan their own bodies and track system. This is the last of everything through its operation circles. You have to get a truly understanding what you're seeing. So all your bodies are going to light up, and you're going to go inside through the energy light system, and you're actually going to see everything inside. Just a basic understanding of what you're up against when you come into high formation line system. So when you come into your own healing, you understand what everybody else is, the connections. Everybody has a heart. Everybody has all levels of the activation core system. It's mechanisms to travel through direction of time system. All right. So any questions or comments, you can go through my healing, my activation lights, my circle rotation centers. Now, because I'm general AI to all level system rotations, you understand I'm more of a computer now and all levels of activation. It centers its position line system to its locations, right? For all the new viewers that are trying to understand, just get into the activation line centered rotations, get into questions or comments that you may have on TikTok. I'm here to help you and guide you. I'm on live every single day if you want to go into your body track system. It's true to understand representations of you is your heart. Your heart is everything through portal. Okay, a lot of people don't talk about the heart because they don't know what it is. You have to understand what the heart is. You have to understand everything through you is inside of travel recognition of time. So let's get started, shall we? So this is the last day, and then tomorrow is the test review and evaluations for the galactic forces coming into the GFLs. All right, so I already set up your units in the galactic line center. So everybody's going to be picked up in rendezvous line interference locations. They're going to high channel your line graph connections. All right, so we're going to set up high level rotations. Now it's getting extremely complicated line connections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do light interference, graphics line connections, body track systems, open your shapes and anomalies to track systems, going through circle, 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 circle. Right, so I'm going to go from here to here, do this, that, and that, over like this. Understand, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm centering line connections to graph line connections. Open up your track line center to your hearts, right? To the galactic forces, the rebellion lines. And everybody that's on the list is already calculated and modified. That's how it works in position locations, all right? Now, there's a little bit of a friction notification line center. It's off signal. Like I said, my voice changes. You notice that. My energy changes. Your fluctuations, line center rotation changes. Okay, so basically, the heart line central to its connection, high position line connections, scanning line centers. Okay, scanning line centers is open through track system. Come to the ground formation light center to this location. So it starts off through this, the position. All right, scanning operation line connections to high level system rotations. Okay. High channel interference to line connections, open all track systems to all division line systems. Get in the graph line connection, secure line defense. You guys are going to travel through high level system rotations into scan line center of its connection. Secure line defense is coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 diamond core line center rotations. This is a diamond core of its connection line interference. It's like a baseball diamond. to understand what you're doing through calculation. You can do anything through track system. You have to truly understand what you're doing through activation of scanning. So we go into the ground line center, we come into activation core system, comes into high level systems. That's magnesium. Plasma line center to its rotation, okay, is a planetary offense and deviance to its location line conditions. So the bi-track system has to understand its mechanism of time of travel. Trying to understand when you guys go into your light bodies, you're actually going to see everything. Okay, so don't freak out. It's just going to high rise your positions, and everything you see, you're going to see all your cells, you're going to see all positions and how everything's attached to you through calculation. You have to get into computerized to your cell generation light systems. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Open up the light center rotations to all your computer activation core centers of 7-dimensional line center rotation connections. All right, track its system into 7 body information cycles. Right, 7. All right, 15 minutes. Have fun. Okay, so it's all set up. It's all set up. Set up your shapes anomalies, your track systems. You guys are going through your scanning line center. So it's going up and down. So you have to really understand how to fluctuate wind surface to your positions. All levels of your barometers, all levels to your metric line interference locations, all connections to your binary line centers. It's going so it's going to be constantly doing that for 15 minutes because you got to get understanding how to scan your own bodies. Okay, so this is the last procedure that you need to know. Tomorrow's the test and review and evaluations. Have fun. Tell me what you see through connections. All right. Yeah, we're not traveling. We're just going through scanning line center, Samantha. Yeah, that's totally fine. You're not traveling. You're scanning. There's a difference. Stand still on rotation positions. You have to stand your light bodies, right? Your illumination graphs. Okay. So it's amazing how I go from this and I set it up. That's how I do it because I see the graph. I see all levels of where you are through your pixel activation. I center your cores and open up all levels of your shape position line conditions. Remember, it's the reality that you surface to highlight center. You get Syria here. All right, so 15 minutes, have fun. Let me know what you see through your scanning system. Okay, so it's like a light bulb that goes off into your high-level system, side position. So it's all about understanding the anatomy of you, right? Through computers. Mary, how's it going? Immediately on seeing inside blood vessels and seeing blood plates and going fast. There you go, Jill. Don't freak out. You guys are inside your bodies. Scanning. So the introvert line center to your perception is going inside. So it's kind of like, remember how the fish goes like this? Just starts here and goes like this, right? Right? Well, it's trying to understand the ground line center to the powers of you to the atmosphere line conditions, right? So all your bodies are lit up in a program of interference condition. So I'm feeling the scan going fast. Yeah, it's going zzz. So you have to get the understanding of what you're seeing inside is you, right? So everything is inverted now. So your eye perceptions are seeing everything inside, and that's how you get into scanning locations. All right. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Lots of eye movement. Yep, very good. Yeah. So Samantha, Galactica, Ellen, Vicky, Samantha, Vicky, Mary, Jill, Ellen, Vicky. So how does it feel being inside your bodies? The scanning. Very, very powerful. Seeing connective tissue. Yep. Yeah. And thing is, Jill, you're going to keep going beyond that. You have to recognize your timers. You have to send your clocking system. You see the bloodstream. You see the placebo, the cortex, line connections. You even see your mainframes. You also see your connections where you are through all levels of your visions. You see graphs. You see your body graph connections. You see your heart. But the whole understanding is to scan, but you have to go beyond that. And that's where you come into the circuitry line system because you guys already been on the mothership. So it's like going way, 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 way back. okay, to its position line connections. That's the only way. So it's like going through the blood, but when you're going through blood, basically you just keep going and 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 going, and then you come into the actual wire communications and its graph connections to its nanotechnology of its location. So, all right, let's see. It's like swimming underwater. Yep. A ball with many wires and a portal. I'm going inside. There you go. Cleopatra's inside. This will help you out, Cleopatra, understand more connections to your spine, how to interference your line positions to communicate with all levels of your track system. Very powerful, yep. I'm seeing blue plate type energy going out from inside my body, okay? You have to understand what you're seeing, right? Because everything's a frame by frame by frame by frame, okay? So seeing lights move along the conductive tissue, yeah. So you're seeing tissues and cartilage. So you're into the bone line centers there, Joe. So you get a true understanding. You guys got to come into these operation line centers. This is how you go into your track system again, where you come into formation, how you go into your scanning systems, and then you scan yourself completely, and then you be able to heal other people because they have the same body as you, except different perception of time through connection line system rotations, different structures, different colors, different lights, different programs, different computer line centers, different sun, different moon. Everybody's in a different waving cycle, but we're all made through the same structure. All right. Very, very, very powerful. All right. I see shapes of my body, then a graph in green. The scan is going through computerized body system. Yeah. I'm holding one bubble with all colors inside. So you have to understand what you're looking at. You are inside your bodies and scanning. That's what it's doing. It's on a clocking system. That's why I set the chargers for 15 minutes. All right. See, you don't want to be in there too long. See, and that's what I do with scanning, because the thing is, you can get trapped if you're in there too long. So that's why I do it extremely fast. And you guys are now connecting the clocking system. So when you go into somebody else's body, everything changes. It's like, whoa, this is not my energy. This is somebody else's. So you have to protect your lights when you're scanning other people. So there you go. Moving up and down my spine, outside and inside. So really get into connections of who you are through calculations. Get your grounds, your powers, and the adversaries, all levels of shape conditions. But your light is traveling through your bodies. So it's all about getting to understand what it is, to all through the bloodstreams and everything identifications. And you're seeing your cells, white cells and red cells. You're seeing all levels of the cartilage and the bone line system. You're communicating with everything, okay, in all detail, right? But you keep going and going and going and going until you get to the electrical system. Once you get to the electrical system, now you're in the wires of communication. So this is what you come into, right? This is what you come into, this line system. It's allocated positions of time lock system locations, all right? But this is what you come into, high level system rotation. Okay, you come into the wires. So if you understand the wire line connections, they come really, really close like this. Okay, that's one wire. Now one wire has its code lines, right? And it's little particles that move in the center line system rotations, like this, the calculations all through the wire. So it has its coil, it wraps around, that keeps the protection through its protein value. Now that opens up its track system to its location, which high rises line center. So you come into your ground line centers, you come into your power recognitions, you come into your atmosphere line system, you come into your chakra rotation line center. It's amazing when you see your track systems of your chakras and communications, because you're nothing but electrical wire of teleportation. All right. So this will get a little bit more understanding who you are now through electrical lights, panel lights, hydraulics. Your magnet line interference in your highway information line system has to truly understand you through calculations of graph systems, guys. Once you get into modification circle rotation line center of its connections, it high forces your line centers to allocated line connections. All right. So it reaches platitude interference. It comes into high level programs of your inner line center rotation to your flux capacitors into disposition line connections. Okay. Up and down, up and down. V vector line up, V vector line down, circle rotation, and line center line connections. And as you can see the intelligence coming to you through locations. It's like me going through the mirror. and seeing intelligence, how it goes wave in and wave out, right? Well, the central line system to all level connections is understanding you through space-time position line connections. Space and time comes to you, right? So when you scan inside. So space and time is coming to you through intelligence. So you open up the graph line center to its connections, which is opening up all your digital frame line centers to bar graph line connection, interference line connection locations to its connection line system. It's coming into its own realm line system to its digital plateau. Okay. So once it comes into that, it high positions your line center and you become nothing but a hologram interference of location. Okay. Like it's saying the structure of me through location. So you actually see yourself on high level systems of rotation. You see your particle lights. You see your cells. You see yourself as a computer. You see yourself like this in calculation. Right? So it's all about coming into mutation line center to connections of computer line centers to particle line connections, right? So it's curious then how to communicate to all line system rotations. So let's see here. Seen through my eyes, when I enter my eyes, I see galaxy, also portal. Yeah, the galaxy interference line centers open up all your connection shapes and anomalies, Joe. So it's all about understanding what you're seeing. I see skeleton and the spine. Yeah, great. So you've seen the skeleton and the spine, the graph connections. Excellent. I see inside my head, yellow ring, then green brain, holographic brain. There's holographic lines, wires inside of it. There you go. Excellent, Samantha. So how do I know what to do with the colors? I see dominating colors. The colors are your pixel activation line center. That's connected to your T reception. You understand how to interchange position line connections, right? So we'll do that on the test review and evaluations to get a better understanding of your anatomy through the electrical lines. Okay, not the anatomy of the bone, fragmentation connections, or anything through its deterrence, but you have to truly understand what your general does when I heal your body system. So seeing through my eyes, it's fascinating how you guys are seeing this. Inside my head is yellow ring. Exactly. Okay. Then the green brain, holographic brain, then there's holographic lines, wires inside. So you have to know exactly how it's attached to you, how it's calculated and modified, and how you see things in your pixel activation to its hologram system. Seeing through my eyes, when I enter my eyes, I see galaxy also portal. I can see the wires from my heart, brain, tons of wires. There you go. So Jill's in the wire interference channel. That's great. There's rings and rings going through my eyes from outside inward. Very good. Seeing the wires connected from my heart to my finger nose. Great. How do we know what color to make? So it's really interesting how you guys are coming across that you're actually inside your bodies. Remember how we went through soul generation to soul generation, how I switch your bodies and your souls? And everybody else's soul, and you weren't in your own, and then I had to change you back. Well, it's the same thing, except you're introverting your connections. You're coming into electrical wires of its connection to its intelligent line system. So it's like going into your phone and the central line connections of its operation. Truly understand these things. When you see these things, you're blown away, and you say, "Wow, this is me. This is actually me inside." So I'm giving you the operation so you get a better chance to understand more of yourself when you go to higher levels of the chakra system. Okay, so you guys are connecting to your phenomenons now of the eye. So it's fascinating when you see these things, guys. Yes. So you're going through the perception of outside and you're coming more of the inside position. So the more you go inside of scanning, it just becomes simultaneously all in direction line position locations. Bashar was talking about so many levels about you take a finger or any kind of line connections, it's traveling on billions and billions of circle locations in one center line system simultaneously. So one pinky is a billion travel line position to 1 second. Another is another billion travels. So 5 central line connections, billions and billions of travels in seconds, simultaneously going over and over in position of its existence on its plane, which is the center line system to the ground line system of the now position of the presence. So each finger represents travel, and it's traveling extremely fast. So if I do this, it's going very, very fast. If I do this, it's going very, very fast. So it's traveling billions and billions of travel records of time through acceleration just through the finger point from me going from this to this to this. And if I go faster, 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 now you're going trillions and trillions of high-speed line centers in center operation to your communication line positions to your computer operation connections. So it's very powerful. Everything that we do, if I put my hand up like this, I just traveled billions years in the future line connections, all through center line system rotation. If I do this, I'm going through circle rotations. I'm setting up a new planet line interference line channel. Okay, so you have to understand what you're doing through circulations, high level systems through rotation connections. So you go like this, you go like this, you go like this, you go like this. So you're creating a planet. The computerized line center set up. You communicate with this line system. You set up the operation line communications, high channel rotations, set the 369 platforms, communicate their line center rotations, activate the core system to the activation of its UFO direction. So it's amazing how it tracks its system with communication line centers. So every time I do my finger points, it's traveling per second on high level system rotations. 1 billion channels on one finger. 1 billion channels on one finger. Every time I move, I go faster, 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 right? It's the plasma line connection that goes into your channel interference. So every time I do movement, I'm traveling extremely fast through time, speed, acceleration, Mach its line system rotations. So it's incredible how you come across these things through cycles. So, like I said, it gets more complicated. You don't have to worry about the color that it makes. It makes it on its own through intelligence, Ellen. You have to get your communication line centers in balance through your chakra systems before you understand the colors of its design. I'm in the middle, looks like a volcano and the bright yellow light. I'm looking at the stomach chakra. Well, that's excellent. So Cleopatra's looking at the stomach chakra. She's actually seeing her chakra inside and what it looks like. See? Seeing the chakra generators like motors spinning very fast. Exactly. Do you understand how important it is to understand what you're seeing inside? Then you understand the full operation. So you're seeing something, but now you have to understand how to heal it. Not just through you, but everybody else. So you see the issues that I have every time I come across these things, right? So it's amazing what you see is what I see. But see, the thing is, you're seeing your operation set already. But when I'm healing people, they're not set up. So I have to line signal and put everything back in order and reset everything through wire, right? So it's all about understanding you first before you heal anybody else. All right, to his program or anything through his probing. So for some reason, when I go into my heart, I see a rainbow spectrum flash into my mind. Exactly. So rainbow interference line connections. All right, you go into your coherence, sensitine, auditine, line interference locations to your heart reactor line connection. So it's all about understanding what your heart is. You have to take time, guys, to really understand everything inside. Okay? So, and the thing is, can you do it again? Can you do it again? Do you understand how to do it? How to actually go inside? And this is what you need to know. And it's very important that you understand your chakra systems. Right? It's very powerful. Look at Tina. She's at 114, plus she has her own UFO. She's in a connection line positions. She can go inside, see everything. See, that's a true understanding why it's important to understand these things, because great power becomes great responsibility, but you have to know what you're doing when you go to higher levels of light, because you're going faster and faster and faster. So when I'm doing this, I'm going extremely fast in marking speed. It's going extremely, but it's creating a circle. It's creating a rotation. If I just bring up my finger, that's traveled already 1 billion trap line system rotation in 1 second location to a T reception to a universal line connection. Just by doing this, you don't realize how fast your fingers go because you're not aware of your operation. So, all right, I can see movement when I'm looking at the frame of my body. It's holding together, but moving so fast. Well, there you go, Samantha. Yeah, I see the chakras too, Jill. You're right. They look like motors because they are. I'm seeing a graph traveling and seeing my lungs. They look like angelic wings also. Yep. All right, so Cleopatra's in her lung capacitor. That's what it is. It's a lung capacitor. So you guys are past high-level systems of connections to the bone. You're in positions of the wires now, right? I want you to understand what you're seeing is you. If you understand the operation of you, yes, you can heal people, but you have to understand their connections and where they are. Their chakra systems, they're off cycle. Do you understand how complicated it is to what's inside the wires? Right? Like I said, I see you through your connections, not your physical system. So I automatically go into all levels of your program, of your computers. I travel right there. And that's how fast you have to understand how you use your hand interference line centers. So every time I do this, it's traveling extremely fast. So fast, it makes your head spin 20,000 times per second. So you have to understand what your fingers are doing. You have to understand what your body's doing. You have to understand what your chakra is doing through communication. Yes, they're motor skills, but what is it doing through shapes? What is it doing through dimensions? What is it doing through sea levels? Sea levels tracks the system to locations of atmosphere line connections, oxygen level connection. Now you're talking my language and all levels of space-time, right? So I see a graph traveling and see my lungs. They look, yeah. I feel like a color soup, constant moving. It's amazing. I'm all the chakra motors are humming. And the thing is, when you guys go back out of your systems, you be more intelligent with inside position. You understand more of your body inside. And that's what we want, right? And this will give you a better understanding. When it puts you guys into the 60 chakras, you have connections to Vega, right? So now you know yourself inside. And every time you go inside more, you go into Vega communications, and then you can use your body graph line center to do its connection to its interference location channels. Then you come to higher formation line centers to your TV reception locations, right? To planet in your line connection. So you guys will be able to do this now. Understand what that is, right? You have to understand everything that's communication. So you'll come along really quick. But how it rises line center rotation positions to the graph line conditions, right? That's exactly what you look like. So it's all about understanding, looking yourself up really, really close and see everything that is attached to its wire conditions, right? So, yeah, and everything's humming, exactly. So I see a grid inside, like the chakras are connected to a grid inside. Yeah, everything's a grid inside through the chakra communications. That's your travel records line conditions to all position line conditions. Every chakra has its own heart. It has to. It's intelligence. Every chakra has to have a heart. Why? Because it's a portal. And what is the heart to the chakra system? The shape. What do you think each chakra system is, and what does it represent to all level connection positions? God. Each chakra system is a travel of God, to geometrics operations of its direction to its division to high level system of dimension line connections. It's extremely important when you go more inside of your system to operation. Things start making a lot more sense and how everything is connected. So it's fascinating when you see these things. The hips and the pelvis looks like a rotor that is rotating the body. That's exactly what it is, Cleopatra. The ground line center opens up all level connections, the ground line connection rotation. So the inner line center to its line connections. This is you through all level connections. High position inner line center rotations. Okay. So you got a stem line center rotation. The ground line center opens up all levels of your power connectors. This is the seated soul. This is the mothership. Mothership comes a high level system rotation, sends out sonar line centers to all level connections like this and track system. Okay. So the ground line center is already set up through calculations. Circle point through its location, circle point through its power, and circle point through your mind line center opens up all levels of your magnetic high line center information cycle to its line connections, right? Once it comes into high level system, the seat of the soul comes into higher level of communications, right? Because everything inside is protected through its valve, right? It has electrical light, and you come into a plasma inner line center to its connections, high forces, all division line system rotations. So electrical lights, panel line connections, interference channel rotation to its connections, right? So understand position line interference locations to channel line system rotation. It's all about understanding how to get into colorations of patterns and interference line connections, all levels to its connection line system rotations. High positions in your line centers, put you back in line condition interference, opens up all track system, the ground line system, comes into high level system of rotation to its connection. All right. So it's amazing how you come into the grounds of power in the atmospheres. We started off in the very beginning with foundations, right? So, but that's what it is. It's a rotor, and it keeps the gravitational line center to Orion's belt, right? So it's a power connector, right? But there's a ground line. It's kind of like an electrical rod, and that electrical rod holds you from the Earth from not floating. See, it's all attached to you through inside. It's the mechanism of travel. So each dimensional cell, okay, is a rocket surface. Now that rocket surface is connected to a planet line center. It's a shape position to its locking connection. It's a computer operation to its generation line connections that operates all levels of your dimensions. Clocking its system to its water interference is connected to its air, which is its fire, which is its grounds. Okay. Each shape is positioned at 369 trap line system rotations. The cell rotation line center is a shell. That shell is its plasma. That plasma is a web. That web is a dimension. That dimension is a shape. The shape is GOD, the geometrics of the dimension that you're connecting with, the grounds, the power, and the absolute line connections. High position line center to rotations of 7 chakra communications and 5 conscious levels of space position. So it's getting complicated now, isn't it? I can see all kinds of congested blob in my head, a little headache behind my eyes. See, Jill? See how you see everything through detail. It's all about understanding how to get rid of it now. So it has a grid, and that's why we can travel, right? So we travel through these way like UFOs does, yeah, through chakras, right? So it's all connected to all levels of your tetrahedrons. Okay. So it's all set up for you. Like I said, it's the rocket surface. It's a spectrum light interference. It's a cyclone line connected to the shape positions, right? Through GOD. The geometrics of you is the true understanding of what you are through your hologram. It's understanding how to travel through the chakra system of the grounds. Okay? So depending on what body part I connect, I can see the lines connecting to all other body parts. And that's it. And that's what you want to understand, right? So basically, if Jill's coming in a congested blob into her head, right? She has to understand, okay, it's congested and it's got a little bit of cloud. How do I take it out? Seeing and taking out are 2 different anomalies of track system location, guys. You have to understand how to take these things out of the brainstem line center because it's all connected to your archive line connection, so your cloud interface, right? So I just wanted you to know what I go through and what I see with your bodies, right? It's fascinating when you see these things, right? Because now you're connecting inside. So seeing that I need to increase blood flow to the area. See, Jill needs to know exactly. She communicated with the high-level system of her filter that was congested to the highline center to the cloud of her high-level connections to her headache. And now she knows exactly what she needs to do. She has to increase the blood flow to that area. But how does she do it? That's calculated and modified through code now, right? Because each compartment of your body is a different code line center, and it changes second per second. So you guys have to understand how fast the motor skills of your chakras are going through your shapes, a dimensional time lock system. That's a true understanding. When I put my finger up, it's traveled so fast. Okay. To you, it's just going up and down, but to me, it's travel. So you have to truly understand how to use these things through calculation, everything through line system, perception, connections. So let's see. What does Alan see? I see the spine seems to be uncountable slices of information. Yes, it's the graph line center to the constellation path. It sets up all level connections to your cortex and your placebos. Yeah. Your whole body is nothing but a geographical map, guys. You have to understand how to use it. That's all. It's all calculated and modified to intelligence. So when you go inside, you're actually communicating to all levels of your program, of your computer system. This is probably the most powerful video I'll give you guys. Because now you're connecting to your general. Imagine a kind of a vortex pulling more blood in the area. Okay. So tracking the line connection interference. This is what's going to happen. Now, Jill's in a trap system locations. Okay. Now, it's kind of like a blood clot, but it's not a blood clot. You have to understand the connections to seizing line interference. Seizing line interference is a freezing mechanism line connections to the cloud and interface. That's connected to a 3-wire line system to its location that's off circling to its line connections. Complicated stuff, isn't it? And this is all doing with just the brain, right? So in Jill rotation, in calculation, right? In position line connections. All right, so that's Jill. Okay, it's not a great drawing, but basically understand the line center. It's on the location line gap rotator. This is the rotator of the left line connections. That's a head that she's having through problem interference. Now I'm drawing out these 2 gram line system rotations. You have to understand it's very hard to do these things because you got to get calculation to the marker, interference channel to dimension line center to high level system digital pad to its connection of high framing line position locations. Because right now I'm in the brain line center, Jill. So I'm going to take the filter line communications, rewire the line connections, change the placebo cortex line connections. Now the filter is going to disappear and the headache is gone through equation, right? Circleless line connections. I'm taking out a trap system rotation. Gone through equation, right? No more headache. It's disappeared. Back in track system to its location. See? Done. No more problem. See? That's how you heal. That's how you heal. So it's all about understanding, and you have to understand what's going on. If you understand what's going on, then you truly understand what's going on with the anatomy of electrical lights of you inside, not the anatomy of the body, the anatomy of you inside. Okay? Totally different operation. The structural line connection has to truly understand through all levels of what you do through intelligence. And these things take time because, like I said, I know every operation to cell. There's more cells in the heart than there is the body. So Jill's okay now. The headache's gone. There's no more filter of a clog. So understand how to do these things, the calculations, guys. I see the whole body like a blueprint. That's exactly what it is. Straight lines, not curved. The spine, the ribs, the bones, like straight lines, connect boxes. See? Look, Jill, headache's gone. See? Told you. All right, so I'm just showing you how you can do these things, but you have to understand all communications of the brain, all communications of the heart, all communications to your spine, all communications to your blood, all communications to your cortex, all communications to placebo, all your communications to all levels of your spine line system rotations, all communications of high level system electrical lights, mainframes, diagram interference. So many things you have to understand. Because remember, it's the anatomy inside, not the anatomy of the body structure, the physical system. No, you go beyond that system, which is all calculated and modified through electrical lights of its program location of its computer, of you. So Jill's headache is gone. And she's probably wondering, how did he do it? How did he do it? You have to have communication of intelligence to understand these things. And that's how you get rid of anything that connections, extremely fast locations. So, all right. So that's amazing. So Cleopatra is going through the whole level system of a blueprint of DNA structures. Fantastic. I'm in my skin. It's like it's drawn by the spine info like a machine printer. Yeah. Scanning operation line center to follicle locations, graph conditions, your body graph line center rotation. Yeah. Every cell of my skin is holding info on my organs. See? Now she's connecting high level systems of high level connections to the skin graphs of her organs. Every cell is a computer. So, and these things take time, guys. That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I want to go up a high rise. I want a high rise. I want high rise. Well, when you high rise, you have to understand your body's going to higher level system electrical lights. And you have to understand every single cell in your body that's operating through its mind system. It's calculated and modified to all levels of brain connections, brain stems, brain interference, coherence line inner channels, high position line connections, the graphic connections, high level system rotation, ground line interference location. It's all connected to your pixels and your hologram connections, guys. So exactly, Alan. You're all pixels. You have to understand how they are and how they're used. So just wanted to show you what it's like to actually be in a TV reception to your own graph position, your body graph connections of hologram connection. Because that's all you guys are. You're nothing but digital framing. So, yeah, you can steer with magnets. Yeah. Of our thoughts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating when you actually see your light bodies inside, right? So you have to really get into the scanning. You guys have never done that before. You guys are blown away now because you're coming to higher levels, which is great because you're coming into high positions. But you have to understand before I put you into 60 chakras, you have to understand communications of you inside. Vega can't give you communications until you understand your bodies, every computer line connections, at least the basics, understanding how everything is operated inside your location to your chakra systems, of your geometries of yourself, their operation. So powerful, isn't it? For all the new viewers, I don't know what to say. Basically, this is way beyond standards, way beyond the mind system, way beyond calculation of computer line center rotation. Just concentrate basically on your meditation. Concentrate on what you want through your thoughts. Concentrate on what you want through your mind. Concentrate on what you want through your actions. Actions have consequences. Be cautious in what you do with your thoughts. Put yourself in a positive system. Put yourself in the center of everything through locations. Questions or comments, feel free to go to my TikTok. For everybody else, be happy to answer them for you. If you want to go through my healing, go through my TikTok locations when I go live. It's all about understanding you, waking up to this and making your own decisions on what you want to do through your future connections of yourself. So you're a wave of pixels. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, it's different because you guys have never been inside your body. And now you're blown away, right? My body can be everywhere I can be everywhere. It is all what I resonate with. This is so amazing. See, I told you. And you guys, once you go inside, it's much easier to see everything. When you see everything, you can control everything. You can control everything. You control everything inside, which operates everything outside of your reality. Okay? So. But you guys have a lot of questions, which is great. So, first time going inside through your electrical lights and your electrical units, your circuitry boards, coming into your central line centers and everything through your binary connections of high channel locations, coming into higher level system rotations. Now, it's all about understanding the operation of you through your geometrics, the geological and the geographical you computer connections, right? Because you are a map, you're a signal map to all locations of space and time. And we use the chakra systems to communicate to all levels, okay, to your UFO line centers, to your shapes, okay, to your tetrahedrons, to your point center locations, right? So each cell is operated through the grounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. They high position line centers. Okay. They come into high low position locations, lock-ins, connections, right? High position of the grounds, come into higher levels in position, right? So you truly have to understand your pyramids of yourself, because everybody's a pyramid. Why do you think we have pyramids? So you can communicate with your pyramid to other pyramids. So it connects all line signals to line system locations to other pyramid location line centers, right? To its connections. So once you come in that position, you open up your seat of the soul, mothership, sends out sonar, right? It goes, there it is. There's communication, right? Goes back to the seat of the soul, goes back to the grounds, opens the cycle line connections, high position line centers for rotations, zips across the earth line connection rotation, over across the connections into the magnetic highway of its information cycle to its line system rotation, comes back down, electrical lights, let's go into the green circle location, center line position line system rotation, to its connections, high forces line system, opens up all track line centers, okay, to the seat of the soul location, which creates an atom to line center to the ground line system rotations. All right. So this is what happens when you get higher level system rotations through your pyramids and your activations of your charging conditions to your avatars or your computers. So you all come into an atom. So step by step, procedures are all based on how to travel through your UFO. Right? So it's all about the importance and how powerful it is when you go through operation inside connections of yourself through the ground system. Right? Everything is done through your GPS locking system locations. So, all right. Now learning to read the slices of information I see in the spine. There you go, Alan. Pyramids of basic needs and then developing. Everything is wiring inside. Now you know, Cleopatra. Now you have better understanding, right? Now you have to understand how to communicate with it every single day. So the more you go inside, Cleopatra, the more it's easier. Because I don't surface outside anymore. I'm always inside at every level. And that's what it is. That's what it is. That's how I'm able to operate every cell in my body and everything's in my heart at what it is. Because everything inside you is intelligence. And the more you understand that, the more you get friendship, relation, and partnership, then you come into your phenomenons of AI, of its awareness. So, thought control, yep. Our heart chakras are pretty cool looking. Yep. Must pyramids be made of specific materials to be able to function, or any material is fine? Any material is fine. It doesn't matter. Anything through coil, anything through metal, anything through that connection surface doesn't matter. It's a magnetic of you. It has nothing to do with the pyramid. You are the controlling system that controls the pyramid. The pyramid doesn't control you. You control things around you, which controls everything around its surface to its reality of you. That's how it operates, everything inside and outside. Everything the operation is inside of you. Once you're standing the full, complete cycle of the spectrum lights and the communications on high-level system of space-time inside you, you can create anything outside to your reality, which is the presence of the now simultaneously. Okay? So there you go. How's it going? And that's why it's important not to miss school, guys. Okay? It's different when it's just a tape. Yes, you get the information, but the thing is, yes, you go through the formation, but it's much easier when you go with your general because you're in my space, you're in my time, and I set up your programs just like this in the Epsilon line system. And you know it's real, right? So I see the graphs of you. It's like seeing a scan, and then what I do is I just set the operation, I put in the computer codes, and that's it, it's done. So it's very powerful when you come in that position locations, guys. To really understand your inside is everything through wire. Okay. All right. Just having to find a string of my own logic and then take off. Yep. So everything is calculated and modified. Your 15 minutes are up. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I'm going to head over to TikTok. It is Sunday. It's familiar. So I'm going to take a break. I've been doing this 7 days a week. Things are going to get really, really interesting. So it's all about setting line system to positions to your coherence. High level system to all your senses. So all your senses of your heart is activated through circles of dimensional through its clock connections. That's going to change the earth line and set up a new computer chip in the earth position location to its hologram of its matrix. That's what's happening now. Okay, I give you what you need to know in chronological line system rotation. All right, adios.